Are you a baker who's been active in the baking industry for a couple of months and you're thinking of starting to do baking classes? This video is for you. Hi everyone, this is Maureen Kamari, founder of Amari Baking Center and author of How to Start Up a Small Baking Business. In this channel, we share baking recipes, cake decoration tutorials, and baking for business advice. If this is something you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. So our baking industry is going through quite a growth spurt. We have a lot of individuals who are looking to learn how to bake and decorate. We also have a lot of bakers who are starting to offer baking classes due to the demand. Now this is a great thing, being able to share your skills, but then we also have negative stories of students who have gone to classes and they come out of there very dissatisfied. And this comes from bakers offering classes, but they're not very well prepared on how to run the class or get a successful result. I've been teaching classes since 2014, and over time, with experience and feedback from students and even taking short courses online on how to teach effectively, I've been able to get tips and strategies on how to run successful baking classes over time. So today I want to share 3 points you need to consider before starting your baking classes. So the first point you need to consider is how long you've been practicing your skill. You need at least 6 months of practicing your skill, and this doesn't mean class time. And then after the 6 months, you need to make sure you have experience of baking or decorating 4 to 6 months. This means that you're able to teach an individual to the best capabilities that you can. Remember, when you're teaching a skill, you have to teach a skill level below your skill level. So if you're an advanced cake decorator, you can teach intermediate baking skills. If you're a master baker, you can teach any level of baking skill. So you have to make sure you have enough experience and practice to be able to teach your student the right way. Before I get to my second point, I just want to share with you guys that I'll be having a 2-day online class that's going to share with you tips and information on how to run successful baking and cake decoration classes. So this is going to be on January 19th and 20th. If you're interested in the class, please check the description box where there's a link that gives you more information on the classes. So the second point you want to consider is the equipment you need to actually run a class. So whether you're running the class in your kitchen space or in someone's kitchen space, you need to make sure you have the bare minimum requirements for teaching a class. So you need to look at the equipment you need for baking or the cake decoration class and make sure you have it. A lot of classes tend to have issues because you don't have all the equipment you need to run the class. If you're going to be going to someone else's space, you can share the list with them before you go to class as you're engaging, so you can run a really efficient class. So make sure you have the correct equipment to run the class. So the third point you want to consider is you want to avoid overwhelm. While you're having a class with your students, sometimes you feel the need to give them so much information. Now realize that that's not going to be of benefit to them or you. If you give them too much information, they probably won't understand most of it anyway. So you need to make sure you keep the lessons or one session simple, teach 1 or 2 concepts, and then give your student enough time to practice the concept after that. If you overwhelm your student, they'll leave the class worse than they came in because they'll be just totally overwhelmed. So make sure you keep it simple each session, depending on how long you're going to be going with the students, so that they can really understand what you're teaching them. So to recap, the 3 points you need to consider before starting baking classes. First, how long you've actually been practicing your baking skill and the experience you have before teaching somebody. The second thing you need to consider is if you have the equipment to run the class. And the third thing you need to make sure is that you avoid overwhelm when it comes to teaching your student. So remember, if you're interested in starting to run classes, I'm going to be running an in-depth 2-day online class from January 19th to 20th that's going to be covering how to cost and price your class for profit, how to run a successful lesson plan, how to write a successful lesson plan so you have best results when it comes to your baking classes. If you're interested in that, make sure to check the link below so that you can sign up for the class. I'll see you guys next time.